Okay, so let's hop into the blogging basics. So probably the first thing you want to know is why should your business even have a blog? And for me, I think that it really connects and shares information with customers. It's a place where if people know that you're going to consistently post there, they'll come for new information about your company, what you're up to. Also, it's a great place to house longer format frequently asked questions. Blogging also helps fuel SEO, so search engine optimization and how you rank within the different search engines. If you have content that is relevant to the people that are searching, then you will populate more and have more traffic to your site. It's said that 60% of businesses who blog acquire more customers. And I would believe this to be true because if with the amount of research that happens from a consumer standpoint before they decide to work with a company, I truly believe that if you have a blog on your website, that you will drive more traffic to your business. And it said that in the B2B space that people are 57% along the sales process before they even reach out to a salesperson because they've already done so much research. Isn't that a crazy stat? I also think that businesses should blog because it gives your company a voice. And so this kind of ties into branding and how you want people to be able to see you, understand you, how they think of you, your business. And so this gives you a great platform to be able to project that voice that you want people to know your company for. It also builds confidence and relationships and sales. So it really helps people get to know you before they're ready to reach out or ready to come to the shop. And then it answers questions while potential customers are still learning about you. And that's what I meant when I was talking about, longer format, frequently asked questions or walkthroughs, that kind of thing. All right, so let's look at the 4 different formats to deliver content on the web. So there's text articles. This is still the most common format. This is what you would find, regular text blog posts on a website that may or may not have images or videos embedded throughout the blog post, but it is primarily text. Then there's image articles. So this could be infographics, cartoons, drawings, charts, graphs, and really even still photography depending on your business, the format, and your audience. Now there's video posts. This is becoming more popular, especially with so many people trying to capitalize on YouTube. So video posts can be talking head style. It could be using a screencast program like I am right now, presentation style, anything that would end up in the video format. And then last but not least is audio posts. So this is typically delivered as a podcast, but it could also be embedding audio just on a web page, on a post on your site. Podcasts are becoming very popular these days, and it's just because it's such a great way to be able to consume content while you're driving or catching, the bus or anything like that, any type where you're waiting, just to be able to listen to a podcast or an audiobook. Great way to deliver that type of content. Okay, so let's talk about now a little bit more of the framework of blogging. And so to understand and to map out the type of content that you need for your blog, you really need to think about the different types of traffic that will be coming to your site. And so we define, we kind of silo everyone into 3 main buckets. And so there's cold traffic. This would be people that have never visited your site before, probably don't know who you are, and this would be like their first point of contact. And then there's warm traffic. These are people that are familiar with your brand, but maybe not have bought yet or had made a low dollar offer, something like that, but they're warm traffic. They could be on your list, they could not, but they know about you in some form. And then there's hot traffic. So hot traffic would be your existing customers, your biggest advocates, your most active fans on social media. This is your hot traffic. And so they would primarily, most likely be people that have purchased from you before. So now that we've talked about temperatures, let's look at the content life cycle and how that correlates to the traffic temperatures. So this is your typical sales funnel, and you'll notice that it's broken up into 3 sections. There's the tofu, the mofu, and the bofu. And so tofu stands for top of funnel. And this is the type of content that you would have on your blog that would be for your cold traffic, these new people. So this could be blog posts, social media updates, infographics, photographs, digital magazines, audio podcasts, video podcasts, microsites, print magazines, newsletters, and primary research. And so the goal at the top of funnel is really about increasing offer awareness, growing your retargeting lists, increasing the engagement and the amount of traffic that you have on your site as well. And you would be able to look at the success of that by some of the metrics would be your offer awareness, retargeting list growth, site engagement rates, number of inbound links that your website has, and the traffic by channel. And what I mean by that is if you're sharing your blog post to Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, how much traffic are you receiving from each channel? So that would be for your cold audiences. And then there's MoFu. This is middle of the funnel, and this would be for that warm traffic. And so it's important to understand where people are in their journey with your business and to make sure that you're creating content for every level of kind of intimacy in terms of how familiar they are with you. And so middle of funnel would be that warm content. They know you and they like you, they trust you, but you're wanting them to now purchase from you or become like a client. And so middle of funnels are all for that warm traffic, and the type of content pieces that you could have for them would be educational resources like walkthroughs, some type of useful resource, maybe, like a step-by-step guide, a software download if it assists them, or it is a splinter of your core offer, a discount coupon. Quizzes and surveys are a great middle of funnel piece. We use quizzes and surveys quite often. And then also webinars and events. And so the goals with the middle of the funnel is all about email list growth and lead generation. You're still wanting to be growing that retargeting list, but you'll also want to be doing that initial customer acquisition. And so if you haven't watched the customer value journey video yet, I would definitely hop and watch that if you're not familiar with the initial customer acquisition, the tripwires, the lead magnets, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so with the middle of funnel, the metrics that you would look at for success would be the number of leads you're generating, email list growth, offer conversion rate, so how many people are picking up on your offer. Again, retargeting list growth, always growing those retargeting lists, and then newsletter email open rates and click-throughs. All right, so then you get to the bottom of the funnel, BOFU, and this is all for your hot traffic. So some pieces of content that could be here would be a demo or a free trial, a customer story or a case study, a comparison or spec sheet, so that could be product comparisons. You see that a lot in software as a service marketing. And then webinars and events again, or a mini class. Some of the goals for the bottom of the funnel would be lead and customer nurturing, again, growing your retargeting lists, maximizing the immediate customer value. So how far along can you get them to go down your funnel before they complete the checkout? So can you get them on a tripwire, your core offer, maybe an upsell? Also looking at increasing retention. If this is a reoccurring product, then are you able to keep people on? And then also increasing buyer frequency. So once they've purchased from you, how frequently are you able to get them to buy from you again? All right, and so the metrics that we would look at the bottom of funnel would be looking at the number of qualified sales leads, your offer conversion rate, your promo email open click-through rate, retargeting list growth, your average customer value, your retention rate, and again, buyer recency and frequency. So because this would be really focusing on gaining new leads and new customers, in this workshop, we're really going to focus on the top of funnel marketing goals. And so that's all about increasing your offer awareness, growing your retargeting lists, increasing engagement, and growing your website traffic. All right, so that kind of wraps up the basics of blogging. In terms of the why, next we're going to look at 5 types of blog posts that encourage sharing, and we'll spitfire some ideas on how to come up with that content. See you in the next video.